Hello, welcome back or welcome to my channel. It's Sunshine Lorena and I am going to be taking you through a huge unhaul. So guys, I have this resting on like my desk here, but I don't know if I can make you see all of it in the shot and it is falling on me, guys. There's like 20 books here. Shouldn't have listed that. There is like 20 books here. It's a huge unhaul. I am really getting rid of the books. I've meant to be done this like months ago. I just had a good look at my shelves, guys, and I was like, in all honesty, am I gonna reread these? No. There's some in here that I haven't read for various different reasons. I'll take you through, very brief. I'm not gonna speak about it too much because there's 20 books and that would make this video long if I kept on speaking. So I'm just gonna take you through it, and yes, so you would have seen I did my book haul. If you've not watched it, go and check that out. We're doing the book unhaul. I'm then going to look at my actual physical TBR and actually look to see how many and that I have in there and try and actually track it next year. And then there's going to be a bit of a reorganization. So at the moment I just threw some books in the gaps and stuff, but it really needs like sorting. It really needs a good sort, so that'll be coming at some point in this month as well. But let's just get into it, and I feel like this is going to fall, so just give me a moment to kind of sort it. I'm going to take it out of view just to make sure you don't accidentally see anything. Okay, so guys, the first one that I'm unhauling is the Honeymooners by Christina Lauren. I read this in October. I really enjoyed it. Give 4.5 stars, and you're probably thinking that's a high rating, why aren't you keeping it? And all honesty, when it comes to romances, the ones that I really do love, like The Hating Game, like I read it on ebook, and I actually bought the physical one and I've not reread it, and that was 5 stars. Absolutely loved it. So realistically, I feel like I'm probably not going to reread this, and that's why I'm unhauling it, but I did really enjoy it. I thought it was really fun, and it's just there's so many books and I have so many ebooks as well, and I have a lot to get through, so I'm being brutal, but I did really enjoy this. Then the next one here I have is Girl, Woman, Other by Bernardine Evaristo, and I read this a few years ago. 2020 it was 2020, guys. I read this. I really enjoyed it. I don't normally pick up like Booker Prize winners and stuff, but this is really good. I really enjoyed it. I can't remember my exact rating. I feel like it was around 4 stars. Really did enjoy it, but again, I don't envision myself picking this up and rereading it, so it is going in my unhaul pile. I did not mention this, but normally I take my books to charity shop, and I will take a good chunk of these to the charity shop, but I might sell a few of them. I've also seen, like, you know, is it Ziffit? They like buy books, a few different options. So I might sell some, I might do the Ziffit thing, or it's gonna just be like to the charity shop because I buy books from there anyway. So I'm just as well helping them restock. So the next one that I have here is Watching You by Lisa Jewell. I read this earlier in the year. I do like Lisa Jewell thrillers. This, I can't remember exactly what my rating was. Somewhere between 3 and 4 stars, guys. I can't remember specifically. In general, with thrillers, I don't really reread them because then you already know what's gonna happen. Like, you know the twists. Whereas romance, yeah, sure, reread it because, you know, it's about the build up to it. But with this, I don't normally reread thrillers. I got this from the charity shop anyway, so this one definitely will be going back to the charity shop. It cost me 50 pence. I enjoyed it, but not rereading it. And the next two here that I have is Me Before You and After You by Jojo Moyes. Now I have the third one down there on my shelves, which I have not read. I was originally keeping these thinking like, oh, I'll reread them before I read the third one, but realistically, I am terrible at rereading. If you've not gotten this from my whole unhaul here, I'm terrible at rereading. I will occasionally reread some things, but I'm really bad at it. I feel like I can watch the film again and then I can just like reread, like read a recap online for the books, I think, before I read the third one. But I've had these for years. I haven't reread them, and I'll just do that quick recap. And these, I'm just thinking, I have kept these in such good conditions, guys. Sometimes, you know, the books, most of the time, I keep my books in really good condition. The ones that are not that good conditions because they've been around in bags and stuff, or my husband has attempted to read it and then not finish it and then he's kind of damaged them. But we don't talk about that, and it's also why I don't borrow him any more books. Anyway, so the next one here I have here is P.S. I Love You by Cecilia Ahern, and I read this like in 2014 or something, so it's a long time that I had them on my shelves. I did really enjoy it when I read this. Hated the film, guys, but it could be because I saw it after I read the book, and they're two different things. And because it was nothing like the actual book, which I absolutely loved, didn't like it. Would I like this as much now if I picked it up? I have no idea. But I've owned it since like 2013, 14, like I said. It was around that time that I read it, and haven't reread it since, guys. And at this point, I'm not going to reread it, am I? So this will be going in that unhaul pile. This was one I actually bought in Spain when I was living in Madrid. And I mean, it's a little bit kind of blurred out, but I remember, I mean, it costed me quite a bit, this book, guys, because it was like a translated version for them. So it was kind of expensive. I probably should have reread it, but my mum read it, she liked it as well, so that's fine. Then I've got like a bit of a stack here, and these are Ian Rankin novels, and these are from the Inspector Rebus series. As you can see, these are like the older ones. This, I don't think it's from the Inspector Rebus one, ignore that one. But you see they changed the covers halfway through when I was reading these. It's not easy to hold them. They changed the cover design at some point. These were really the first kind of thrillers that I really got into. Now the first one isn't here, which is Noughts and Crosses. I have it on my shelves there. There's actually two, because one, my husband has a copy as well, and I need to speak to him to see if he's actually wanting to keep that. So then if I do take books to charity shop, you know, I can shove that in the pile. But I've got my copy, and the one that got me into Inspector Rebus, which is the first Noughts and Crosses, because at school we actually studied that text. So that is highlighted, there is notes in there. But it's kind of sentimental. I want to keep that one. That's what got me into these. These were like really my first into thriller kind of books. Absolutely love them. I do recommend them. But again, thriller, am I going to read it? Probably not. These are a lot of books here, so that's why this pile is huge. I didn't reread Noughts and Crosses. It has been years, so I might not remember all the twists and turns, but yeah, good series. If you like kind of police thrillers, it's a really good kind of series to pick up. They're set in Edinburgh. It's just, Edinburgh's like my favourite place ever. But like Edinburgh, like gothic kind of vibes, especially Noughts and Crosses, because guys, that involves like, I was gonna say something, but that could be a spoiler, because now I don't know. It's been so long that since I've read it, that I don't know when that comes up, so I'm not gonna mention that. But trust me, guys, really good. Next here I have The Help by Catherine Stockett. Again, this was one that I read when I was in Madrid, so this is back 2013, 2014. Costed me €8, guys, which I think it would have been cheaper if it hadn't been like the translated one. But anyway, I read it, I liked it at the time, seen the film. I haven't reread it since. It's going on haul pile. Also, like, the writing in this is like tiny, guys. Like, how I got through this at the time, who knows? And I have a receipt, guys. I have a receipt in here from when I bought it. Casa del Libro. And I've had that receipt so long that basically you can't see any writing, guys. It's been a long time since I've obviously opened that, but yes. I mean, I liked it at the time, I haven't reread it, and it's been a long time, guys. It's been a long time. The next two here, I have Memoirs of a Geisha and Captain Corelli's Mandolin. Absolutely loved both of these. I read this in high school, and it was just before the film came out, because I can't remember what shop it was, but like they had them in, and then like everyone was reading it. It was like a whole thing, at least in my school. Like, I can't speak for the whole of like Scotland or like the UK, but at least at the time, I remember amongst my friends in my year and stuff, like we were all obsessed with reading it. So yeah, there was that, and I read Captain Corelli's Mandolin, really liked that. I used to read quite a bit of historical fiction, actually, now I think about it. It's not something I delve into that much now, but definitely used to read a lot more historical fiction. But these two I read when I was in high school, like I said, and I used them for like essays, because you know how you had to write, like go into like literature reviews of some books that you read. Not the ones we actually studied as a class text, but these are like a couple that I chose, which is why I need to go through this one. It's why there's all these like tabs and stuff. I just need to take them off. It's definitely going to be like a charity shop book, these two, because like it's been well read. I have read this like a couple of times. This one as well, I think, but it's been years. I haven't picked it up. I don't read as much historical fiction. They both have film adaptations that I did enjoy, so if I want to revisit those stories, I can. But yeah, you know, again, this one actually I just noticed also has some post-it notes in it, so I'm gonna have to go through this one as well. But yeah, I haven't highlighted anything, and this one, my handwriting, guys, as well. Anyway, let's not look at those notes, because that's probably going to be highly embarrassing. But yes, I have owned these for such a long time. I feel like this one, because this one I read afterwards, I feel like this one I have owned. I feel like it's like 20 years, guys. I feel like it's been 20 years. Like, I need to look up the film, guys. I need to look this up. Okay, the film came out in 2005. And like I said, I read it before the film came out. So potentially it could have been 2004. So it is, we're almost at 20 years that I've owned that book. And apart from like Harry Potter books that I still own, because that obviously is like the oldest books, that they're the longest ones, but this is like the second oldest book that I own, guys. That is just like crazy. I feel so old. I feel so old. We're gonna not think about, we're not gonna think about that, guys, okay? We're not gonna think about it, but it's time. It's time. I've reread them. It's time to let them go. Then I have Letters to a Young Poet here. I had picked this up because it was on the Rory Gilmore list, read it back in like 2020. It is tiny, guys. It is tiny. It like literally cost like £1. I'm never gonna reread it, guys. I read it because it's on the Rory Gilmore list. I'm trying not to focus so much on those books. There's still some on those lists that I do want to read, but this kind of proved to me that like this and like some other ones, no, just because they're on that list doesn't mean they're for me, and I shouldn't like kind of focus on that. But yeah, honestly, I was keeping it on my shelf all these years because like that classic look, but guys, it's just taking up space. I mean, I know it's small, but it's taking up space when I'm never gonna pick that up again, so it's gotta go. Then this one I have never read, guys. This is Vengeance in Venice. Now this was on my These Books Are Going to Self-Destruct in 12 months video, which came out almost a couple of years ago. And I'll be honest with you, those books did not self-destruct because I just picked, you know, I got really late into that like 12 months of the year to actually read them all enough in time, and I looked at them, I was like, guys, this isn't like actually, I don't want to get rid of these because I still want to read them. But this, I haven't picked it up. It was a Works one, which I need to try and take that sticker off. I'll deal with that later, because honestly, whatever. Like if I don't read this, my not reading this is not gonna like change my life, so it's going, because I'm not going to pick it up. You know, I would have read it by now if I was going to actually pick it up. The next one is actually one that was featured in my book haul, guys, and that is Return to Gresham Grange. So if you did watch that book haul, and it was a couple of months ago, I picked up books from the charity shop. It was 3 for £1, or they're 50p each. I generally thought I was going to read this in October when I picked it up, and now after like editing that video, I'm looking at this kind of like, I'm not going to wait around until next October to pick this up. This is obviously a sequel. I think if I had read it at the time it would have been fine, but I'm not going to read it, guys. Generally I'm not going to read it. In terms of money, it's not going to change anything because I still have the other two. It would have costed me £1 anyway, so you know, it's going to go back to that charity shop. They can, you know, put it back out on their shelves. But that's it, guys. That's all the books. Like I said, we have, you know, these 20 books here. Big on haul. Let me know if you've read any of them, or let me know if you've read any of these and what your thoughts were. But yes, my life, I feel better. I mean, they're not out the house yet, but I feel better. My shelves are gonna look better pretty soon. So that is great. Thank you so much for watching. Hit the like button, leave a comment, and hit subscribe so you don't miss out any more content from me, and I'll hopefully see you next one. Bye! I keep saying that is so annoying.